and welcome to AGX Media. In today's episode, we interview Torsten Sándor, a technical marketing manager at Komodo. But first, if this is your first time joining us, please go ahead and subscribe to our channels, as well as check out agxpay.com to learn how the power of modern silver money can help you claim financial freedom. And now to our interview. Torsten, welcome and thank you for joining us on the show.
Hi, thank you. Very happy to be here.
Now, for our viewers who are perhaps not aware, give us a look into Komodo and what it's all about.
So Komodo is a blockchain platform. That means we supply blockchain technology for other projects, other blockchain projects, and also for businesses, enterprises, universities. That's actually quite a big thing with Komodo. So they can build their own applications on this platform. Komodo is not the only platform on the market. There are several others, but I believe it's one of the best.
Okay, to that note then, what are some of the key things that you believe differentiate you from other blockchain platforms in the market?
So that's an excellent question. The most important differentiator is that Komodo offers companies, businesses, and all users their own blockchain. We call it the smart chain. So when you develop on whatever blockchain platform, you are sharing the same with every project developing on that platform. And that can be, that has a few advantages, to be fair, but that can be very problematic. So if you remember in 2017, when the blockchain hype last peaked, there were news about chains getting congested, transactions being incredibly expensive. That is because it's only one chain. So, you know, there is a bottleneck here. What we offer in the chain for every single project, you control your own infrastructure, you control your own environment. There's no third-party risk. And that opens up a lot of new possibilities and gives you a much better performance down the road.
Okay, so let me ask you this. In your mission statement, you talk about accelerating global adoption of blockchain technology. In your own words, where do you think we are in the adoption curve of blockchain?
I think adoption is already basically here. I think it's a little bit of a misunderstanding. When people talk about blockchain adoption, most people think, oh, we are going to pay for our latte macchiato in Starbucks with Bitcoin. That might come at some point, but I don't think that's true adoption. True adoption is enterprises, businesses, independent projects building on the technology itself. Yeah. And that's something that has been going on very strongly throughout the bear market. It never stopped for a second. Mm-hmm. So the price, I think, is an exceptionally poor representation of where the industry is. It's a very good representation of where, you know, the hype. Mm-hmm. But adoption is about companies, projects using this technology basically in day-to-day operations, and that is happening.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I definitely agree that most individuals are looking at the market from a price speculation perspective rather than looking at the various ways organizations are integrating with the technology. So now, as you've mentioned before, Komodo is very versatile. It's not simply one thing. So perhaps you can explain to us some of the features that Komodo is developing. For example, what is the Antara framework?
So Antara framework is our smart contract solution. And I'm using quotes here because the nasty secret about smart contracts that very few people talk about, smart contracts are actually not very smart. And there is a reason for that. There is a trade-off there because these smart contracts run in a virtual machine environment, so their performance is somewhat limited. Our implementation is quite different. Our implementation is more similar to what you see with enterprise platforms, with Hyperledger, for example. So we give the smart contracts, which are the Antara modules in Komodo lingo, they can use the whole hardware on these nodes. I'm afraid I'm getting a little bit too technical here. I know, you can go very deep into this rabbit hole, but basically the main difference is that Antara modules are much more performant than smart contracts. It comes with trade-offs, granted, and those are mainly technical trade-offs. But we believe it's an architecture.
Yeah. And for those of you watching who are of a more technical background, we'll be sure to include links in the description below so that you guys can view that at your leisure. Next up, you guys also have a DEX being built, correct? Tell us about your decentralized exchange.
Oh yeah, that's a super exciting project. So trading is obviously a big thing, even on in the bear market, trading is that you have to trust third parties. You have to trust these exchanges. And frankly, we don't know much about them. Like, some of them are certainly regulated and based in some reputable jurisdiction, but many of them are not. So are you comfortable trusting them with your money? And many people are, and we hear about a catastrophe every month, every 2 months. So atomic swaps are a type of trade where you don't need this trusted third party at all. It's using blockchain technology. It's called atomic because a trade either happens or it doesn't happen. Like, there's zero risk of losing the assets. So we believe this is a very powerful technology. What we are doing is we're building a DEX, a decentralized exchange around it. So people without any technical knowledge can go and start trading without trusting anyone. And we believe we are not the only players in this field, but we are the only players using atomic swaps. We believe that's the best technology to do this.
Mm-hmm. Is the project already live, or what's the timeline for that?
This project is already live with public beta. So you can go to comodoplatform.com or atomicdex.io, download the app for iOS, for Android. Desktop is coming very soon. You can start now. It will be a little bit rough around the edges time to time. It is, after all, a public beta and it's in development. But yes, you can go there and try, and it works, and it's just going to get better and better over the next few months.
Okay, I've got one more question for you. What is Project Moonshot?
So Project Moonshot is not one project. So it's a roadmap category for 2020. So there are a few projects we believe we would love to do them. Obviously, there are time constraints and resource constraints. But those are super exciting. We are especially excited about interoperability with other blockchains. So, this ties back to our mission, frankly. So our mission is a world where you have hundreds or even thousands of blockchains, different use cases, different applications, and they have to work together in some way to perform very, very complex business applications. And for that, you need them to talk to each other. So interoperability is very important, and that's something.
Absolutely. Interoperability is also a big piece of load in AGX as well, as I was telling you before the show. That's all we have planned for today. Do you have any closing words for our users?
We just recently launched a new community portal. So if you are interested in Komodo development, there is the website, but there is a community space lounge at community.comodoplatform.com, where you can directly talk to our developers, talk to our team. It's a very lively place. We just launched a few weeks ago, but I can tell you it is very lively and the conversations are incredibly interesting. So please join, talk to us.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us, and take care.
Thank you.
That's all we have for today's episode with Torsten Sándor, the Technical Marketing Manager at Komodo. So glad that you guys can join us, and we hope that you enjoyed the content. As always though, if this is your first time joining us, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel, as well as check out agxpay.com to learn how the power of modern silver money can help you claim financial freedom. Take care.